The following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood Redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is Black Hollywood Live. Let's talk about sex. Featuring in-depth discussions on dating, intimacy, and relationships. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood Redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, let's talk about sex.
Hey.
Let's talk about, can I get that on?
I know, like, where's that beat at?
You ready, Spice?
Yeah.
Move it out.
Hey, let's talk about you and me.
Come on, Todd.
Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex, pump, We are back with another exciting episode of Let's Talk About Sex here on Black Hollywood Live. I know you guys missed us. We missed our favorite topic, talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, the raw. Let's talk about sex. And I'm your host, Spicy Madi, joined with my co-host, Kevin John.
Yo,
in the
what's
building.
up?
Kevin, you're going to be bringing the funny. Try to go easy on our special guest today, okay?
Go
Yes,
easy?
he
Yeah.
can be
You said it
crazy.
like I normally go hard on that.
You
We
can.
heard you go hard. We also have Drea Renee co-hosting with us in the building.
Hello, hello.
Bring her sweet, precious self. And our special guest today is a celebrity dating coach, infamous international dating coach at that. Todd Valentine has joined us today. We have the blessing of having him here in the building. Welcome, Todd.
Thank you.
And this stud muffin right here knows his stuff. He is
Wow.
the cutie pie that you see on this screen right here. He's been in the business for about 11 years now.
Wow.
But he also goes out. He says he's very hands-on with the men that he's training. And so we want to hear a little bit about how this dating, coaching, and dating business works. So Todd, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, basically I take guys out pretty much every weekend and a lot of times during the week as well. I take them to bars, clubs, parks, social gatherings, anywhere where you can meet women, and I basically make them do that. I make them talk to girls, show them how, I demonstrate for them. Sometimes, like, if they're talking to a girl, I'll come up and whisper in their ear what to do, even put, like, their hands on the girl for them, like, whatever they need. And then we do a lot of theory, like, sort of what they need to do ahead of time, and then afterwards go over what they did well, what they did poorly, what they can work on, that sort of stuff.
So let me get this straight. You're kind of like the Mac Daddy when it comes to talking to women, and you tell them how they need to holler at women.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like Will Smith and Hitch, right?
Right. You would be compared to like the white boy version of Hitch.
Yeah, I get that, and then I get like Ryan Gosling from that movie. I don't know.
Oh,
what-
Ryan Gosling, yes.
Yeah.
What is
Crazy,
it?
Sexy
Crazy
Love.
Sexy Love. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was such a good movie.
Such
that
a
was a
good movie.
great character in that film. That's a great person to be compared to. 'Cause
I know.
he is-
I'm always very flattered. Like, if you think I look like Ryan Gosling, I'll take that.
I'll take
Now I'm
it.
curious, would you ever tell a guy that you're out with that that's trying to woo women? Would you ever tell a guy if a guy was like, "That's a girl I want to holler"? Would you ever be like, "Yo, she's out of your league. Give up"?
No.
So,
Oh.
wow.
I'd want them to try. Even if they fail miserably, I'd want them to try. One of my big policies is the girl may reject you, but you should never reject yourself.
Oh, nice.
So,
That's a good philosophy to live
Yeah.
by.
It is.
And what qualifies you, or what made you the expert in this business?
I massively misspent my years in college. I probably destroyed my career, like prospects in any other career besides the one I went into. I went into college as basically like Mr. like most likely to succeed and all that kind of stuff, and I came out as like poor GPA, but I chased a lot of girls in my 4 years there. And then I met up with some other people that were kind of in the industry starting out a business, and I linked up with them, and I've been doing it ever since.
And right now you're at Real Social Dynamics, which is a dating coaching company.
That's correct.
And what is your position there at this company?
My position is called executive coach. Basically,
Executive.
Executive
Ooh, he's
coach,
a
yeah.
boss. You hear that, ladies?
We're basically, it's me and 6 other people that do the same thing as me around the world, and we do programs every single weekend, everywhere. Basically anywhere that speaks English.
Well, you know, here on this show, we focus primarily on relationships and love, but mostly sex. And I know that part of one of the fears and nervousness in dating is, you know, getting past phases 1, 2, and then finally making it to 3 to get to the home run. Do you help guys get to the home run?
I do.
So you can be kind of considered a sexpert as well.
Yeah, definitely. I would consider myself like a seduction spurt, if you will, if you want to make up a word. But yeah, I do teach the sex stuff as well, for sure.
Well, and this is going to be great because today's episode is about the female orgasm, and a lot of men don't know anything about it, and neither do a lot of women. They just know that they wash it every day, and pee comes out, but they don't really know how their body works. So today's episode is going to be just about that: the female anatomy and the female orgasm. And so we want to hear all your opinions on that. And so before we get started, we always start off with Hollywood Hotties Doing the Naughty.
Yes.
Okay.
And today on Hollywood Hotties Doing the Naughty, People Magazine has reported that, or OK Magazine has reported that
Same thing.
Really, it is.
same thing.
It
That
really is.
JayZ and Beyonce are now getting counseling or therapy because of some problems that they've been having in the past.
I think that's good.
Yeah, problems like maybe Beyonce's sister is a psycho and started killing. That may be a start. But I don't know. To me, they always seem like the perfect,
Really?
Seems like it's the operative word.
Seriously, they're like the Will and Jada of the music scene.
No. I think
Hold on,
it's-
Drea, you shaking your head. What's
I
up?
just feel like they try so hard to like never have any like cracks in the foundation and be too perfect. And people like that, I feel like have the most problems. Like I feel like they're never just like genuine. It's just like, oh, we're good, we're fine, everything's great. Even after that, what happened with Solange, they didn't even address it. I just feel like they're just too perfect. So I feel like they have a lot of problems.
So you feel that they're fronting for the media?
I
They're
do.
putting on a facade.
Yeah, because Beyonce, she never likes to like have anything going on, any drama, any issues. It's always like,
It really is.
it is.
Todd, what do you think?
I don't know. I think if you do put up a united front as a couple, I mean, like, what's the alternative? Like, openly hating each other? You know what I mean? Like,
Good point.
I think you probably love each other more if you're willing to, like, go at it together than if you're openly separated, right?
Well, but then when you're in the public eye like these two, you
have
probably
to.
feel more pressure
Yeah.
to
Of
have
course,
to,
of course.
keep up that
But
facade and keep it fake.
sometimes it's robotic, where it's like, of course, I'm not saying they should air all of their dirty
Mm-hmm.
laundry, but it just seems too like we are happy all the time.
I love that Daft Punk voice you just did right there. But no, I was going to say, it did not look robotic when they did the Grammy performance, okay? That looked
didn't
like they
see
were
that.
dry humping each other
Oh,
on
that,
stage.
yes, okay.
That seemed very relaxed and swag surfing.
I mean, I'm sure they have a great sex life. Nobody's doubting that. They have a precious
No.
little baby from it. But and with any marriage, there's gonna be problems.
Yeah.
But you don't know every single person that's having problems, whether they are at your work or a friend.
Yeah.
You don't always know everybody's business unless they share it to you. So they just happen to be in the public eye and are choosing as well to not share it with us.
Right.
But OK Magazine found out first, so
that they're going to therapy. I think
they're
it's
going
good.
to therapy.
I think it's a good thing.
And of course, they haven't confirmed nor denied, but their sources say.
they probably should.
That should, yeah. I mean, it's good. I think sometimes also when you're that powerful and that rich, you think you're above certain things, and it's good to see them humble themselves and be like, you know what? Maybe we do need to go to therapy.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to see a counselor.
I think it's healthy to know that you can have help in your life,
Yeah.
wherever you're at, right?
Now, Todd, do you help marriages as well? Do you
Yes,
ever
and
coach
ask that.
married men on how to date their wives?
Or just single men.
I haven't really done that so much. It's not the niche we really market to, so to speak. So, I mean, I do teach people in relationships, and a lot of times my clients will go out and get into relationships after the training, and they'll email me and ask me questions then, so I'll help them that way. But yeah, it's not our major niche.
Have your connections resulted in a lot of marriages or just...
Yeah, actually, surprising. It's funny though, because a lot of guys are like sheepish about it, because it's kind of like, because my vibe and the way I portray myself is kind of a little bit playerish, and so.
I can see by the blue polo you're wearing right there.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
This guy's ready to
V.
score.
So a lot of times they're like sheepish about it. They're like, yeah, I got into a relationship. I'm sorry I let you down. I'm like, no, that's good. I approve of this. This is
Right.
positive. So yeah, I've had a lot of guys get married. I've been invited to a wedding or two. It's not bad.
Nice.
Wow, and to know that you're responsible for that as well, you know.
It's flattering.
It is, because it's funny. I recently played Love Connector for a wedding that's going to be happening sometime in the soon future. I'm not going to spill any beans or say who it is.
I don't know who he could be talking about.
but
Kevin's
it's such a
throwing me
rewarding
under the
feeling.
bus
Yeah.
here.
What makes you think I'm talking about you,
Yeah,
Spicy?
yeah. But it is something that's beautiful when you get to help couples or people find love that almost thought that it was impossible. And so that's part of maybe what your gift is seeing how to pull out people's best so that other people see it as well, right?
Definitely, yeah.
What seems to be the biggest problem that you address when you're getting couples or single people?
Most guys are incredibly shy. Like you'd be astounded. Well, because the thing is, like, as a girl, right, you get approached by a lot of guys, but you get approached by the guys that aren't shy. So there's like 10 or 20% of the guys doing 90% of the approaches.
Population that aren't coming up to us.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like 3.5 billion guys on the planet. They're not all approaching you, right? There's like some tiny segment that's approaching a lot of women.
That is true.
And how do you break them of that?
And those ones are thirsty.
Because if someone's shy, they're shy. How do you break that?
I think that, well, there's a couple of things, introverted versus extroverted, and that's like what your social preference is. But I think a lot of people are shy just because they haven't had a lot of positive social feedback and reinforcement. And if you give them like good experiences and let them know what's possible, then they'll start to come out of that shell. I mean, you could take like the most like nerdy introverted guy and put him in a circle of other nerdy introverted guys where he's like a little like higher up than them, and he'll become like the leader, right? He'll step up. So I think we all have that in us, but we have to give ourselves permission to do it.
So I think it's just a lack of confidence that they have.
Definitely.
Now, would you say that there are certain guys that may be extroverted but are just afraid when it comes to talking to women? Like that's just a difficult, line for them to cross?
Yeah, for sure. Like no guy wants to be rejected by a girl.
Of course.
The thing I always like to
That
say,
sucks, by the way. But
yeah, no. I think most guys want to believe that they could win a fight, pick up a girl, and make money. Like, if you do those three things, you're essentially got it together as a man. And so to admit that like you're not good at that, or to like have an issue in that, it's hard to come out with it for sure. And so a lot of guys just shy away from it. I mean, that was me growing up. I was really good at a lot of things, but I was just shy around girls because I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to be the guy that was bad with girls. I prefer to be the guy that's just not focused on girls.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a great avoidance.
That is really
well,
good.
One thing that I think that you said, that was interesting was that people don't want to admit that they're bad at something, and so if you can avoid it, then you don't have to address it.
Right.
So that also plays into orgasms. Some men don't want to address the fact that they don't even know what it is and how to create one for their partner or whoever it is that they're sleeping with.
Yeah.
So either they're just not having sex or they're just focused on their own self-gratification.
Sure.
And so our job here on Let's Talk About Sex is to educate and help you guys. So we're going to get into what is an orgasm. Okay, I want to hear your guys' opinion on what you think that an orgasm is, because it's probably close to the rest of America. Todd, what do you think an orgasm is?
You mean like physically what's an orgasm?
What do you think an orgasm is?
I think an orgasm is when a girl is so stimulated that and releases, and then her body, I don't know the physiological thing, but like it's essentially this is gonna sound gross. There's like certain fluids and mucus that come down and come out. And the other thing I know is that the more turned on a girl is, and the more her body's trying to become pregnant, like biologically with the guy, the more likely she is to have it. So that has to do with foreplay and also technique.
Interesting.
Wow,
Okay.
Very comprehensive answer
I
there.
like
I
that
don't know.
answer.
And graphic.
I like that
Sorry.
answer though. I want to hear Kevin's, because I know yours is going to be probably like absolutely wrong. So I want to hear.
Trust me, I don't know nothing about
Kevin, I
orgasms.
want to hear what you
now.
think an orgasm is.
See, now I'm afraid to answer because it may be so wrong.
Oh, dang it. I
feel
didn't do
under that
Todd's
bus.
positive reinforcement.
Yeah, right? I know.
How do you feel under that bus, Kevin?
She reciprocated it. To me, an orgasm, at least for men, is that 7 seconds. Where
Seven's good.
that 7
You're
seconds.
like, that's a long time.
Thank you. Were you guys just acting out what an orgasm is?
It's a good one.
Oh,
Right.
goodness. I hope you guys don't do that with your men at home. Like,
I hope I do.
I hope I do.
and then you would ruin his orgasm for him if you did that. He'd be like, okay. So, anyways, orgasm.
Yes.
That was like Thriller. All right. So, anyways, all right. All right.
Okay. What is an orgasm?
No, an orgasm is that, the 7 seconds that come immediately following the 2 hours that you just put in. If you're me, I can't speak for everyone, or 2 minutes, depending on who you are. But an orgasm is those 6 to 7 seconds where literally nothing in the world matters.
Oh my
Nothing. Like your house can be burning down.
You want that, right?
Somebody can be shooting a gun at you. You just have you're just zoned out. You're you're in a state of hallucination.
Basically.
I mean, it's so great that it's like a pinch me, I'm dreaming kind of thing. When you experience those, and usually it's accompanied with ejaculation and other bodily fluids, like you said earlier.
Physiological.
Yeah, thank you if you want to get it. But it's that moment where nothing matters.
You know what I heard was in the book Choke, they refer to it as beautiful, perfect nothing. That was like the
I
phrase
like
that's
that.
like beautiful, perfect
That
nothing.
is what it's like.
It is.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's so beautiful and
Not
perfect.
every time, but the good ones, yeah.
So
Okay, well, I guess
Some orgasms aren't, you know.
now let's get a female's perspective because I want to hear what Drea thinks that it is. Describe what you think that an orgasm is, or how would you even explain it to your daughter?
Ooh. Well, pretty much a combo of what they both said, where for me it's like this euphoric, well, the good ones, euphoric fantasy-like experience. And especially when you're really connected with somebody, it's like this otherworldly thing. I mean, I've had orgasms where I literally felt like I just took a bunch of drugs. Like straight up. And, like, same stuff.
You sure you weren't drugged before the orgasm?
No, I was not. Like the type of orgasms that will make you like crazy and will kill somebody if they touch your man.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
what most people don't know is that the male orgasm is similar to the female orgasm in the sense of it's blood rushing to your private genital. And so for the female, it's the same way. Blood is rushing to her clitoris. And so when blood rushes there, that's that hot feeling that you get, just like as if you're working out, your body heat is rising. So you're feeling that sensation. But it floods the pelvic area and your breathing pattern speeds up and so does your heart rate. And sometimes your nipples will become erect as well, and the lower part of your vagina narrows in order to grip the penis. And I didn't even know that. I didn't know that your lower part of your vagina was narrowing to grip it. I was like, oh, that's why you fell in love with me. Duh. But most people don't understand that there's this entire process that goes with it. A lot of people just think, okay, why insert? And a lot of females just think, why spread my legs? So there's actual, biological process that goes with the big O, as we call it.
But I always wonder if men and women feel it the same way. Like if it's exactly the same experience.
That's a very good question.
For men and women.
I think what you have to focus on to determine, I guess, the amount of feeling between men and women is you got to look at the eyes. Like, no, seriously, that is how the eyes determine the level of orgasm scale that it was on. Huh. Seriously,
Todd, is this
if you
true?
look at your partner's eyes,
Everyone's like,
keep it real.
I
No. Look at Spice. Next time any of you guys
Well,
are.
usually my neck might be thrown. I mean, I don't know, depending on the position. So.
Also depends.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Then I'll give you the scientific version of what you just said. Because
the eyes don't lie.
True.
They do not.
okay, according to Women's Health magazine,
Or Kevin's magazine.
that big bang moment is when the uterus and vagina and anus all contract simultaneously,
all of
8-second intervals. And so it is kind of like that, like what Kevin said. He was close.
Thank you.
See, I was on point.
Kevin said 7 seconds. It's
You gotta
really
have that
8.
thriller.
But it also can consist, a small orgasm can consist of 3 to 5 contractions and a biggie 10 to 15.
Hell
So
yeah.
if a man really put it down, 10 to 15 seconds, that's like, that. I think you would be dead after that. But,
that is true.
I
That
love
is
those
true.
orgasms where you like cannot move. Where you're like, oh.
That's why I'm trained in CPR for
like
those
that.
exact moments.
I like that. The ones where you have like aftershocks.
Yes. So you're like, oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Now, and also, if you find that your female partner is more irritable than usual, what it could be too is that she also can be suffering from blue balls, just like a man can
That
as
is
well.
very true.
She can need to release that pressure as well. And so sometimes, there's that myth. Oh, she just needs a little sex or dick in her life. It's probably true. Yeah.
So how do you know? Like, is it like how would I know if a woman needs a little bit of penis? Todd, can you help me out with this? You know everything. Can you spot them out and be like, man, that woman needs to get her?
That's a great question. Can you spot them out?
Yeah.
Can you spot a female that needs to get laid?
Yeah.
Yes and no, actually.
I'll say if you do this, you're a freaking genius.
He's like, that one right there.
Go.
I think I can, but I'm not sure quite how. Like, number one, I just teach everybody assume they do, because you're in better shape
Assume
assuming
that
they
they
do,
do.
right? Because if you assume they do and you're right, you'll act correctly. If you assume they do and you're wrong, at least you're making an approach and you're going with confidence. So it's
Or
not
you
it's
come
not the
off as a
worst.
pervert, but
Well,
yeah.
okay, assume they do, but take it slow. Like, don't assume they're gonna go with you in like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna take your time.
Yes.
Unless you're getting a massage. Go ahead.
But yeah, I do think there are signs though. I mean, like there are times when I will just walk up to a girl and you just know like she looks you in the eye a certain way, and you just like know that you can like just make out with her right then, or you know
wow.
like she's like aroused instantly. So it's definitely there. I don't know if that's so much. It could be blue balls. It could also be just I think it has to do with like ovulation and stuff like that. Too.
Oh, ovulation plays a big part as well because she's definitely more,
Amen.
Horny
Yes.
when a woman is ovulating because she wants to breed, she wants to mate. What is your advice to men when they see a woman and they're attracted to her, they want to approach her? How long do you think that they should wait before they start talking about sex with her?
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes some guys want to take you home and they're like,
No, I
come
thought she was
on.
gonna ask how long should I wait before going over and talking to her. I'm like
No,
zero,
before
less than zero.
talking about sex,
Yeah.
because sometimes that can hurt you from going home with her if that's your
For sure.
ultimate, if that's your ultimate goal, or if you're trying to have a girlfriend, you really should be more careful with that topic.
Sure. I think it should be broached early, but it should be broached tenderly early. Not like it shouldn't be forced into the conversation. You should sort of hint at it and see if the girl picks up the hint.
How early?
First minute oftentimes, but sometimes a little bit longer. Yeah, but like as a hint.
What?
As a hint. Not
Whoa.
not like, hey girl, I want to like do you right now, but like if she says something kind of that could be misinterpreted sexually, like, oh really? Right? And you just give her that kind of like that kind of look, and you say, right? And then she'll like, I mean, no, I'm just kidding. Anyway, and then keep going, right? So the major mistake guys make that I see, I mean, there's two. There's being too bold and being too cautious. But a lot of guys are so cautious they never make a move or never make the conversation sexual at all. And so they need to be bringing that up, just not in an offensive way or not in a way that's really blatant.
So my question to that is, do you think that, I guess within the first few minutes of you talking to them and you bringing up, do you think that's something a woman would be receptive to or a woman would want to hear?
Typically, I mean, again, it depends how you do it. It's not so much like that you do it, it's how you do it, right? If you're just like obnoxious and like nasty about it and like throwing it in their face like awkwardly, then obviously nobody wants that 1 minute in or 20 minutes or 2 hours or ever.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
But if you're subtle about it and like just kind of like flirtatious about it, that's,
I also think it depends on where you meet the girl too, because if you're in a club, I think it's a whole lot easier to be like that versus if I meet someone in a grocery store
I
or
think
at
the
church.
setting.
Sure.
I think it would be a little
Like,
more.
hey, at the grocery store, are you gonna buy those cucumbers?
But there's
Yeah.
But I've had. Don't get me wrong. I think every woman wants a man who flirts, and
Sure.
every woman wants a man who they know is eventually going to eat them out. Like that's a huge turn on when you know a man wants to put his head in between your legs. It's a huge turn on for women. Now
Same thing for men.
the problem is.
They look at a girl.
The problem
Right?
is when you let me know you want to do that before even asking me out on a date. That's the problem that I have. And I recently had somebody approach me and they're like, I want to eat you out. I already know I would do it so good. You need this. And I kind of was just like, huh?
Bye, Felicia.
And yeah, bye, Felicia. Like,
Okay.
that's what I felt like before you even asked me out. Like, I was going to turn you down either way. but
now it's like-
now you, like, have no shot of, like, getting a call back even in 2 years. Like, no, none whatsoever. And so I think that when you go straight into the sex, it's an immediate red flag and turn off because that lets us know that's all you want.
Yeah, I think women decide differently than men. I think the metaphor that I've heard used is like men are like a light switch, either on or off. Like they either want to sleep with a girl or they don't. That's it. Whereas women, it's like a dimmer switch. It's like there's like degrees. It's like he's possible. Maybe it's warming up. It's not warming up.
Yeah,
And so
I
you
agree.
need to kind of spend your time like getting to know the girl. You can't just assume like whatever. And women want an experience too. The other good metaphor is imagine like meeting a girl and having sex like a movie. Right? The last 5 minutes, the climax is the best part of the movie, but it doesn't mean anything without the rest of the movie. Right? So the girl wants the whole movie. She wants the experience and the lead up.
That is very true. And
And you
with
and her
me,
fast forward.
Like foreplay. She wants
Yeah, we're just like, can we just
wants
watch the
the
last 5 minutes,
foreplay.
please?
Yeah, exactly. Because I can kind of relate to what you're saying about the movie. You know, most of my experiences with girls have been like the Titanic. You know, extremely long and not short movies. So no, I respect that. Now the thing I was gonna say is like you said something in regards to switch off and on. I think that men, for the most part, they already know before stepping to meet a girl. They can tell you.
100%.
Yeah, they're 100%. They know whether or not they would sleep with her before she even opens up her mouth.
Yes.
I mean, she can open her mouth, have no teeth, and
They'd be
you know,
like,
so
"Oh,
they just be like, okay, that's cool. She just,
man.
she just gotta. I have some weird friends. I'm not speaking for myself, but anyways, but with women, it's kind of I mean, not to say that women can't be physically attracted to a man and look at a man and be like, ooh, he's delicious or
They're
yummy
like,
or
"Nah."
tasty or stuff. But it seems like for a woman, a man kind of has to put in a little bit of work before you.
Absolutely, because there are men that I've slept with in my life that on first look I never would have thought I would have. But then, you know, you get to know them, you talk to them, you know, they put the words on, and then you're sleeping with them. But I think for men, yeah, you know, like, immediately. But for me, you never know sometimes.
So have there been certain men, now this goes to both women out here, has there been certain men that you guys have seen and instantly you knew you wanted to sleep with them?
Hell yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like before, it was already there. Like all he had to do was just.
It depends on where I am in my life and what's going on and what you're looking for. Like there's been times I was with somebody for a long time. I broke up with them or they broke up with me, and then you're in that phase where you just like want to get over it. So you see somebody and you want to hook up with them. Versus like if I'm looking for a relationship, then things are kind of different. Do you know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you have to be in that specific mood or phase.
It's like a mood.
Okay.
This is where I think I become the square bear, because for me, I can be physically attracted to somebody. They could be drop dead gorgeous, and I still cannot be turned on or want to sleep with them until I know their personality. And I think that's why I haven't ever had a one night stand, because for me, it has to be mental. You have to make me laugh. We have to vibe. We have to have some things in common. I have to feel a real genuine interest before my panties can even get wet, let alone drop. So it's like it really is a movie for me. You know, the way that Todd had described it, I'm that exact makeup. So you would probably know how to attack me with your men if you saw me at a bar.
Like, go spicy.
They just make her feel like it's a movie and you're good. But I mean, you know, it's different. It's like you know, you guys said it's different for men than women, because the difference with men is too. Usually, if a man doesn't want to sleep with the woman, it's hard for a woman to try to convince him. If he's not physically or sexually attracted to her, there's not really a chance unless he's doing a pity, you know, community service.
Or reverse psychology, which I don't understand why men haven't figured this out. If you try to tell a woman no, we're like going to do everything possible to try to sleep with you. It's so true.
Very true.
It is so true. Oh no, I want to get to know you better. I'm like,
know,
what?
I'll show
not
you
lying.
get to know me.
Todd, since I've been practicing abstinence, man, panties have been flying off.
Yes.
I mean, I don't even have a mitt to catch all the panties. I'm like, stop, you know, it's coming. So, you know, and
It
then
becomes a challenge. You're like, what?
yeah.
But for women, if we're not attracted maybe at first, or we don't think maybe that we want to have sex with you, or we don't see a future with you, you can actually convince us based on the way that you treat us. So enough courting, and it's like, you know what, you guys, he actually is really sweet. I think I do like him. Now you're in a relationship.
I don't understand that.
I know. It's so crazy.
I don't know. It just sounds weird that like you cannot, I guess, initially be attracted to somebody, but through courting.
Because for us, it's more mental, and it's about the feeling that you give us. For men, it's more about the physical at first.
I don't know.
Women, we have to. There's a certain feeling.
Experientially, I'm with you. I understand. I could like break it down biologically if we had like an hour, but like, experientially as a man, I'm with you on that. Is weird.
Yeah.
It just feels weird to like think of someone as like not sexual and then think of them as sexual later. It's like, really?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you already.
It can shift. It just does.
It's the same thing with orgasms. It's the same thing. It's like almost guaranteed that men will have an orgasm. It's not too hard. It's any position. You guys usually can come.
Yep.
With women, it's more about the emotional connection in that moment. Did you rub her back? Did you have foreplay?
Did you rub her back?
Yeah, you know,
a
simple rub on the back or thigh or bum.
On the forehead. I'm like,
I think you guys are talking about the difference between making love and having sex.
No.
Okay?
Just the
Making love, there's
actual.
that emotional.
No, but just the actual getting her in the mood process. If she's had a hard day at work, more than likely it's a little bit harder to get her draws off than if a man has had a hard day at work. You know, he's always ready for sex. A woman has to be more warmed up.
Why is that? Why does it take y'all motors so long to get started, where with us, you just put the key in the ignition and it's ready to roll?
we're just biologically different.
It's a mental thing, I think. I think for women, it's a mental
Especially
thing.
as I get older, I have to be mentally connected. Otherwise, you're just like kind of checked out.
Well, for me, it's more like I'm always horny. You just have to fit the bill of who I'm going to let stick it in the hole. So you meet the qualifications. I mean, of course, now I'm in a relationship, but I'm saying, you know, it's more about choosing who that partner is going to get to be.
I'm saying, but to have that good orgasm that I was just talking about where you're like out of your mind, there has to be some eye connection too, like during sex.
Well, yeah, the thing is, with women, I think there's a lot more variety to your sexual experiences than with men. Like a guy,
that's
it's
a great
like
point.
you know, have sex for a while and then we come, or we get a blowjob and we come, right? It's pretty the same, right? And different positions feel a little bit different, but it's, it's
Overall
penis
same.
being stimulated. But like for women, it can be massively different. Like sometimes you have like a clitoral orgasm, G-spot orgasm, no orgasm. Sometimes there's foreplay, sometimes there's not. Sometimes you're one part of your monthly cycle, sometimes you're different. It's all like
There are a lot of stuff
all
going
over the
on,
place.
man.
Dr. Kerner, who's in the article for Women's Health magazine, says that for women to have the most success rate for orgasms, she always recommends the being on top position.
Amen.
And a huge part of the
Wow, you
problem,
just got an
though,
amen on that.
I love being on top too, but a
Me
huge
too.
part of the problem with women being on top is that discomfort of being seen. They get a little bit of insecurity when they are the ones who's getting the focal attention, and it's a little less connected as opposed to missionary position. But that is a position that's guaranteed because you get to stimulate the clitoris and the vagina as well. So you get to hit the G spot at the same time as the clitoris.
I read that 70% of women don't orgasm during sex.
That's because the man is
Which
not
I
hitting
think
the
is
G-spot.
awful.
They haven't spoke to Todd first. That's the problem. They need to consult with him.
Yeah.
Todd, can you guarantee orgasms?
Good question.
Almost.
I've had girls that I've slept with that haven't come, but for the vast majority, yes, definitely.
Okay, and to back up what you said, Drea, only 1/3 of women get to experience orgasms.
And I am part of that.
I'm sorry. Wait, 1/3.
Is that orgasm at all or orgasm with a man?
Exactly.
Only about a third of women experience orgasms regularly during intercourse.
Okay.
That's so sad.
But you know why that is, though? Because it's so much easier to get a man off than to get a woman off.
Yeah.
Like, it's like pretty much with a man, there's one specific area around the base or the top that if you apply pressure to and stroke, it's not going to take that long. It's really not if you're doing the right thing. With women, there's like different avenues and holes and spots and moods.
You gotta honk and squeeze and rub and kiss.
You got to be like Inspector Gadget with 8 hands. There's so much more to do. You guys are so complicated.
And then you're like, that's it.
Yeah, right? But, so I guess I support that 33%. I think if you were to ask men, how many of them
100.
Pretty much.
I mean,
Yeah. What man hasn't orgasmed during any kind of sexual activity, whether,
A virgin.
exactly.
That's very true.
What people
That's true.
don't know is that there's an actual, condition called anorgasmia. And it's the inability to orgasm.
Ooh.
And
Oh,
so,
Lord.
you have everybody has that
also
girlfriend that says they've never
diagnosed
had an
someone with death
orgasm.
Sounds terrible.
Everybody has that girlfriend. I've
Yep,
never had an
I do.
orgasm. I don't know what to do. And 9 times out of 10, they have experienced it and they just don't know what an orgasm is. And so that's why we're having this class so that they know that it's the blood rush, the heat sensation, the blood flowing to their pelvic.
How did you not know?
Yeah, because a lot of women don't know. They don't know what it is they're feeling. If it's a new experience or you've been
Sure.
having it, you don't know to title that, aha, that's an orgasm.
I'm curious. Dre is just in
Like,
disbelief
I just
over
had
there.
such great ones. I'm like, I know what that is.
Those toys must be doing wonders for you.
Okay.
So, anyways, what I was gonna ask is, okay, with certain women that suffer from anorgasmia, is the sex still enjoyable to them if they cannot?
You can still have
orgasm?
enjoyable sex. You just
I
don't get
think
the
you can.
climax. Just like you can still watch a great movie and not know the ending. You're like, that was a really good movie. I want to see the ending. I want to see the ending. Gosh darn it. I'll try to watch it again tomorrow. Then you try to watch it again tomorrow. Once again, you fall asleep. But, it's
That's
the
like torture.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have sex if I wasn't consistently getting, that explosion
I
feeling.
don't think I would either.
See,
But
you
women
say-
do.
Okay, this is very personal. But you say that because you've had lots of orgasms, right?
That's true. Professional orgasmer.
It's
Joking.
You should put that on your business card under a title.
I'm joking.
gonna be very personal. But when
Okay.
I first learned how to touch myself as a young boy, I didn't know, I wasn't trying to have an orgasm.
Right.
I didn't even I was just it felt good to touch my penis.
Yeah.
And then one time it happened by accident. It scared the shit out of me.
What was that?
I thought I was bleeding from my penis all of a sudden. I'm like, oh shit, did I break it?
Did I break it?
It kind of felt good, but mostly it scared me. But then afterwards I realized what it was. I was like, I kind of felt good. Maybe I'll try and do that again.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That was my first time as well. I was like,
Well, that would be the spicy tip of the episode then. We recommend here at at Let's Talk About Sex, that you practice some form of masturbation in order to understand or learn your body more, so that when you do experience these feelings, you start to recognize them and you start to know what you want from your partner or how to make you feel. And so, there are various different types of orgasms and several different ways to masturbate, and toys as well. And that will be on another episode that you guys have to stay tuned for. Because that in itself, and I'll bring toys in to show you guys the different options of toys that you can use to help you with the masturbation process. But there are things that can help assist. Because once you know your body, then you can tell your partner what you need as well.
Yes, you can.
I don't know.
That's huge too, by the way. Being able
Being
to
able
tell.
to communicate.
That's
People
probably
don't
the
do
single
that.
biggest reason why most guys suck in bed is they'll never ask.
I always tell.
But to me, see,
I do.
I 100% agree with you, Todd. But I think it's awkward sometimes when communicating that, because it's like
It is, but
It
you
is.
have
it
to.
takes away from
Well, yeah,
just
because
the.
it's tough because the vibe you have as a man when you're like sleeping with a girl is you're the leader, you're in charge of the man. And you're like, by the way, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you lead? Right? It's very disparate. It's very different from what you're
Yeah.
actually doing to get there, for sure. And it does ruin the vibe a little bit. But
It
you know.
does, but you just gotta jump
Yeah.
back on it.
But
and
women
keep
are
on
Lesser
going.
of two
women are
evils.
just as nervous
Jump
though
back
to
on it,
talk
literally.
about what they want as well, because they don't want to make him feel insecure or make him
Exactly.
feel less than. But that's why communication is such
You
a
can be
huge
gentle
part.
about it, like if
But that's what some of these doctors are saying as far as trying to help yourself with the anorgasmia is relax. That's the first thing. Is we're so uptight. We want to make sure we're doing it right. We want to make sure we're looking good. But we're making a
Yes.
porno, and you're more focused on the way that you're looking than the way that you're feeling or that you're making your partner feel. So relax. That's the first step that they would say. Communication, to reiterate, Todd, what you said, and then also encouragement, which you are really good at with your dating coaching.
I try.
Encourage your partner. Let them know that you're making them feel good and that they're making you feel good. Also, just enjoy the ride, and then also fantasize and arouse. And that comes into the foreplay portion. Don't forget about the foreplay.
Do not.
Yes. So the last segment. Oh no, go ahead, Kevin.
No, I was just going to ask, what would you describe as great foreplay to the people that may not know?
So in my personal opinion, and I'm still practicing new things.
Oh, Spicy, still practicing new. I thought you knew it all. I thought you were expert.
more to learn.
No, I am still in training as far as everything is concerned, and I'm practicing these things so that I can tell people when I teach them. But one thing that I would say that I love is trying to have sex in different places.
Amen.
Being more open to not just the bedroom, being more open to every room in the house, and sometimes even maybe voyeurism, having public sex, and watching as well. Be an exhibitionist and a voyeur.
I mean,
And
we're not
so-
trying to go to jail here.
No.
I'm trying to get an orgasm.
But I'm saying, maybe watch a little porn with your partner.
Kevin.
That's, that can be, considered foreplay.
That's dope,
Or
yeah.
you can be in a public park and maybe sneak a little tip in, underneath the
I'm
picnic
not mad at
blanket.
that.
Like there's multiple things that you can do.
Make sure no kids are around.
Well, preferably, yes.
But don't just do it in the bedroom. Also do it in the kitchen. Like there's so many different places that you can experience around the house, and do in the bathtub. There's different things that you can do other than just eating out and giving bobble.
I'm thinking, okay. I
Make
got
it an
that.
experience, a movie.
Yes.
Throw the BHL cups on the ground and throw her on top of the host countertop.
Oh, is
I
that
don't know.
so?
On that
realize
note,
we
we'll
had
see you
that
guys next week.
Whoa, okay, Drea.
Todd, any tips of foreplay for the guys that you coach?
Sure, yeah. The big thing for me is that a lot of the whole sexual seduction experience should be a bit of teasing, a bit of not so direct, not so obvious. And so on a certain level, the girl wants to know it's possible but not know she has you. Right? She wants the challenge, she wants to chase, that kind of thing. So even up to foreplay and even up to sex, I love to come so close and not do it, and so close and not do it, and
So
tease and make them
don't
want
let
it.
her bust.
Yeah, and I even like to make girls kind of beg for it, which I kind of like.
Yes, yes.
So what do you say? Beg for it, baby. Beg for it?
No, well, sometimes.
Make 'em
But
want
no. More it'd be like, do you like that? Yeah, okay.
Well, thank you.
I'd be like, does that feel good? Tell me how good that feels. That kind of stuff.
Oh, got it.
Wow. So you're very vocal during
That's good.
activity.
It depends. It depends on who I'm with and the vibe and that kind of stuff. But yeah, for sure I can be. I tend to be very verbose, so use it in the bedroom as well.
Okay.
Well, while we have you in the hot seat, then we might as well put you, in the naked
Naked
truth.
truth.
Naked truth,
Bum,
yes.
bum, bum. You must bear it all. Okay. So, Todd, this is the ending of our show where you have to tell us exactly the truth to the questions that we're going to ask you about your sex life, and you have to bear it all with us. So, have you ever stayed in a relationship with someone just because the sex was really, really good?
Not a serious committed relationship, no. A hookup relationship, yes.
But a serious
Like
committed relationship,
no.
you did not stay with
No,
them.
no, not just for sex.
But you stayed in a hookup relationship because the sex was good.
I mean, so what this hookup relationship
I'm about
is?
to
It's
say,
all
yeah,
the
that's-
sex, right?
Yeah,
That's
that
the
was a booty
basis of
call.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I stayed with the booty call because the sex
Was
is
she
good.
crazy?
Yeah. I've dated a couple crazy girls.
Yeah,
Or hooked up
okay.
with crazy girls. Yeah.
What is it about crazy girls? How does a guy not know that she's crazy in the
They
beginning?
know.
Do you guys
I
like
think
that?
they
Does that turn you
So
on?
sometimes you know and don't care. Sometimes girls hide it really well. Sometimes girls like roll it out slowly on you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you are a little stud muffin. Don't we have another photo of Todd? This hottie over here. Can we put another photo up of him just so that we can show everybody who this cutie is that we got in the studio? Yes. See, look how he's so dapper.
Whoa.
Like he looks like Ryan Gosling right there.
I like
Kind of
that.
does. A mixture
Thank
of
you.
Gosling and James Bond,
Take
man.
that.
Oh
Thank you.
yes,
Thank
he
you.
does.
Impressive, man.
Okay,
She looks
so you
like
have to
cum
name.
to me.
What do you, I mean, he almost looks like Tom Cruise. Like he has a lot
Girl, I
going
know
on.
you want it, girl. I
That's
know
what
you
he
want
looks
it.
like. Mhm.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
taking
That's that
over.
look. That's that eye look you were talking about, Kevin.
Yeah. Oh, the orgasmic eye.
The
Yes.
orgasmic eye.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hollywood crush that you would crush. Because this looks like, the face that's going to take somebody down.
Hollywood crush, like
That you would
Hollywood-
crush, that you would take down, that you would sleep with. Who in Hollywood?
There's probably a lot. To be fair, there's a lot of
comes
beautiful
to
girls in
mind?
Hollywood.
Do tell.
First that would come to mind would be Hayden Panettiere. I think she's very cute. I'm sure I think she's
Really?
involved with someone, so I
She
shouldn't even
is
go there. But yeah,
gorgeous.
she's very cute.
She's
she's super
gorgeous. Her
cute.
face
Yeah.
is
Yeah, yeah.
flawless.
She's very cute.
She's the Neutrogena girl, too.
Oh, there
She
you
has
go.
that perfect skin. Yes. Okay, that was a great pick.
I don't even know
agree
who
with your
Hayden
pick.
is. but-
What?
Okay, crucify
Did
me.
you never watch Heroes?
Yes, you never saw Heroes?
I never saw Heroes.
Okay.
No, I've heard of Heroes. I know about the show.
She's like the main chick on there.
Okay.
Yes,
well,
she's
check her
really, really pretty girl.
I gotta watch Heroes now.
Okay. And then sleeping, eating, or cuddling after sex.
Can I cuddle quickly and then sleep? I mean, I'm usually exhausted. Like
So
I
you're
work
the kind
way
of
too
guy
hard.
that likes to roll over and go to bed.
No, I love to cuddle. I really do love to cuddle. I just don't want to cuddle all night. It's just like it's sticky and like I wake up with my neck all sore and stuff. I'll cuddle for a little bit.
You don't shower afterwards, I take it.
Typically not.
Yeah.
He's the rollover type of guy.
I do like to cuddle. It's just I don't want to cuddle all night. Like I cuddle for like 10 minutes, even 20, half an hour, and like I love
That's
to talk.
good.
I love to talk after sex. I think that's some of the most intimate conversation.
really?
I do.
That's nice.
I really do. I think it's very genuine. Like nobody wants anything from anybody anymore. You're just happy to being together. It's great. But then at some
Yeah.
point, I want to sleep.
So that whole rollover thing that guys do when they're done because they've just released, and the whole females that want to cuddle thing afterwards, we're going to talk about that too next episode when we get more into the female orgasm and masturbation and stuff. Because there's actual hormone that is released. We'll get into it and break it down of why she wants to cuddle after sex and why he doesn't. So, to be continued. But Todd, let everybody know, where they can find you if they're interested in your services, because you sound like you are, the man to go to.
Thank you.
And women should probably go to you too if they want to find
Yeah,
out.
do women?
I think my audience is like 95% male, 5%
Yeah.
female. But yeah, they're definitely a female audience. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But also too, maybe they can figure out how to avoid, the scumbag, the scum guy that comes
Those
after them.
20% that obviously are.
Yeah. That are very willing to talk to you, but might not be the best news for you.
Right,
Yeah.
Yes.
exactly. How to avoid that, because a lot of women attract, the jerks, and so,
That
but they
is
don't
true.
know why. Why do I attract the jerks? You
And
probably
then
can
push
help
the
them
nice
with that.
guys away.
That's true.
Yep.
Now I meant to ask you. Now you said you kind of prep and get men ready to approach a woman and things like that. Do you ever give them pickup lines or things of that sort? Or
I try not to do it too much. We used to do that a lot. Like 10 years ago, that's like all we did. We like say this, say this, say this.
give me a good one.
I mean, there's a lot of them was like you and I. One of the big ones used to do is you and I would not get along. Like he says, it implies this idea of togetherness, but it's like also very like you can't have me, very like chasey kind of
Oh,
thing.
you
So,
and I would not get
like,
along.
you and I would
That
not get
does- that
along.
would
So,
work.
So you just go up and say that to them?
Yeah, no. Within the
In
context of like you're
Oh.
having a conversation and they do
okay.
something, just like, yeah, you and I would not get along. Anyway, and then back on to other
And
things.
then
The
the
girl's like,
girl's
well, why
like,
would we not get along? What is it? Why, yeah, I get along with everybody.
Oh, it's
And it makes her like a little insecure too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like
This is kind of like the book The Game.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
That's actually like almost literally what we used to do like 10 years ago, like when I first got into the industry. And now it's much more genuine. Now it's much less about faking being that guy who has like abundance and is cool and has his life together, and actually more like becoming that guy. So, because if you fake it at some point, like people see through the facade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, of course not.
Especially if you, yeah.
But yeah, nowadays what I do is I just basically teach them how to always have something to say. I teach them a lot of like how to, because guys' biggest fear is that I ran out of things to say. It's the 5 minutes in the conversation awkwardness.
Yes,
Oh.
that is very true. That is very
Okay.
true. And then you keep trying to talk, and then, but see, I'm that person. If someone is not interested, I can
I
pick
have
that
trouble
up with them.
imagining you not having something to say.
I
It's-
cannot imagine you not having anything to
I
say.
freeze up when I talk to girls.
Really?
I'm not. This is honest to God. Shay will tell you. I do. I freeze up. Like,
I cannot
If it's
see
somebody,
that at all.
I am just get mute mouth. You know. I don't know what it is. I honestly don't. But I think it's the fear. I don't know. I don't know.
So I'm training right now in order to be a certified dating coach as well. I want to follow in your footsteps. And one of the things that I thought was interesting was that, you know, and I didn't know that I already did this as a host, but not to ask yes or no questions or questions that can easily be answered or that don't stimulate enough emotion. So instead of asking where are you from, the question that they answer all the time, every single day, ask something that's more in depth, like what's your greatest childhood memory from, you know, your
Right.
hometown or from, you know, your family or whatever. And that brings back like a certain emotional feeling for them and it makes them
That's
share
good.
an experience with you. And so,
Taking
and
notes.
so it keeps, you know, the conversation going, because that's one thing that has eliminated a lot of men that I've dated as well, is they couldn't have a conversation with me and
Right.
I'm a talker. And so
I am a talker.
if you
gotta stimulate
aren't,
the mind.
yeah, if you're not stimulating and you're not intriguing, on to the next. Like I got 5 other appointments, 5 other dinner dates after this. Okay, like let's keep it going. So I mean that's an additional thing that helps as well, Kevin.
No, that's good. No, see, this is the thing. I am a talker. Don't get me wrong, but like it's kind of like you said. You know, it's bringing up something that's substantial
Yeah.
or something that's in depth. Something that you know is dear to her, or trying to figure out trying to be creative. I guess is what.
Right, and be different.
Yeah,
And on the
different,
first date too,
yes.
Todd, tell me if I'm wrong or not, but don't ask or don't bring up things like, don't try to ask questions about your favorite music or your favorite films, because those are things that aren't about you. Those are universal. Anybody can have that conversation, but it doesn't describe the way that you personally view or experiences. Like it's not talking about you, it's taking the focus off of you and more on that newest movie that just came out, Captain America or Captain Planet or whatever it is, or Superman, whatever it is, that movie that you're talking about that you're taking the focus off of you. So when they walk away from the date, they're not remembering you the person so much as they are like the little tidbit things that you talked about. But if you focus the conversation around you guys, you seem more stimulated and into that person.
Yeah, 150% agree.
I'm still learning. I'm still
100%.
learning,
Very
Sensei.
learned.
I'm still learning. But I thought all that was interesting, because I was like, gosh, I do talk about TV and film sometimes.
I know the typical questions. Where are you
I'm
from?
interested
How
in
many
those things.
sisters?
Well, I think it's
Yeah.
I think also is not overthinking it. At the end of the day, you're just having a conversation with somebody. Whether having a conversation with someone at the bus stop, conversation here, and I think sometimes when you're talking to someone of interest, you apply a lot more pressure to that than it actually should be. At the end of the day, whatever comes up organically in the conversation,
Which
you
is
know.
probably
Yeah.
why you guys took out the pickup line.
Yeah, exactly. We always try and tell people now is censor what you say after it comes out of your mouth instead of before. So instead of trying to think like, what's the right thing to say, what was she like, and then you just get all frozen up and don't have anything to say, just
okay.
say whatever comes to your mind, and then if it comes out bad, you're like, I'm just kidding, or like, I don't even know why I
You
said
just
that, but
clean it
anyway.
up after.
I've used that before.
Exactly, it's much easier, and you'll be much more charismatic if you're just saying what's on your mind and what's like coming up
Versus
in
like
the
if
moment.
it's like a script.
Ah.
Exactly.
I like that one. I might have to come see you. Do you need an understudy? I think you found yourself an assistant, Todd.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, we have to wrap up because we're getting short on time, but we want to have you back because I feel like there's so much more to learn from you. We're
Yeah.
gonna have a whole episode dedicated to some of your like coaching techniques, maybe.
That'd
if
be
you can
great.
give us some insight. But I want people to be able to find you and where they can get your services, contact info, your social media. Let us know.
Sure. Yeah, the best place to find out about me is my YouTube channel, youtube.com/rsdtodd, my blog, valentinelife.com, and then on social media, it's at rsdtodd or /rsdtodd, depending what social media you're looking at.
And Valentine's your real last name?
No, it is not. It's a pseudonym.
I was like,
What is the real or you can't give that out?
Your website too.
Huh?
Your website.
realsocialdynamics.com is the main website.
realsocialdynamics.com.
And rsdnation.com also, RSD for realsocialdynamicsnation.com.
There's a lot of ways to find you, so there's no way to not find you.
Yeah, I'm all over the net.
I know, Todd Valentine.
Can't hide anymore. I'm
He's
out there.
accessible.
Yep.
That's amazing. And Drea, Renee, where can they find you?
Drea Renee _N.
And Kevin John?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at HeyKevinJohn, or my website, it's kevinjohn.com.
Hey, and you guys can always play with my Twitter day or night or stroke my Instagram at spicy_Mari. That's SPICY_MARI.
I don't know what that was.
Or
I
go to
have no idea what that was.
spicylife.com.
That was the
But thank you
Super
guys
Soaker.
for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live here on BHL. We always are going to bring you the truth about sex. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Thank you, Todd, so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Todd Valentine in the house. We learned so much. Oh, we're going to...
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
Get Maria's new book, The Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness.
Ow!
Get those rock hard abs.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.
Thanks for watching Black Hollywood Live on YouTube. For more in-depth interviews and news, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion in the comment section below here. See you soon, everyone. Bye.